Good evening, crafters. This is your faithful crafter, your one-armed crafter, coming to you tonight. And tonight we're going to make boxes for our gift cards. Isn't this one pretty? And it will hold probably about 10 cards and envelopes. And it just slips under the flower there and closes up. Makes a nice little gift if you put some cards in there for any occasion. And then I have this one with the butterfly. You can make them of any kind you want. You can close them up how you want. I've got some Velcro that you could use. You could use magnets. What I've done here is popped up a little butterfly and just slid this under here. This one in particular has a little pocket that you could put stamps in and then your cards and your envelopes. So that's another idea you could use. But tonight we're going to make one of these, and I hope you will follow me. I am your faithful crafter, and let's get started. We're going to take an 8 by 10, 8.5 by 11.5 piece of paper, which is an A4. We are going to score it as soon as I find my scoring and trim board. I just had it. There it is. Y'all don't lose things on your desk, do you? It's just me. Okay. So we're going to get started here with this one sheet of paper. You will need 2 sheets. You can either use coordinating papers, you can use contrasting, you can use the same paper. You can use a designer paper that has one design on one side and then another piece has a different design on it. That's what we use for the flap. So let's start with the box itself. So we are going to start on our short side, the 8.5 side. We're not going to cut it, but we are going to score it at 1 1/4. So let's get this good and straight. And here's my bone folder, and 1 1/4. Here's 1. And here's the 1/4. So I'm gonna score it all the way. And then we're gonna turn that, and still using the 8.5 side, line it up to the 0 mark again. Up and down at the top and bottom. If you don't get those lined up, you're gonna have a crooked line. And 1 1/4 again. 1 1/4. All right. Now we're going to turn it on the long side. Come to the 0 mark. Right there. Make sure it's lined up good, not going up or down, just straight lined up. And we're going to come in 4 7/8. So here's 4 7/8 is that line right before the 5-inch mark. Then we're going to take that same piece of paper, we're going to turn it around, come back to the 0 mark, like that. And we're going to mark again 4 7/8, which is the line right before the 5, and go all the way up. All right, now we have all of our score marks. I hope you can see those. Now what we're going to do is we're going to cut this piece. This is going to make the bottom of the box. So we're going to cut this so that it will fold correctly. I'm going to cut it right on the score line. Okay, and I turn it, and we're going to do the same thing on this side. So guys, I've been talking to you about going to have knee surgery. Finally got my allergy testing scheduled. I've been told I've got allergies to nickel and titanium, and that is exactly what the implants for knees are made out of. I'm going to fold and burnish at the score lines. So we'll start on this long side first. So next week I go for a 3-day test for the metal allergies. Monday I get the patch put on my back. Wednesday I go back and they take the patch off. Friday I go back and they will determine whether I do truly have an allergy or not. If I do have an allergy to the metal, then I see my surgeon next week and he will decide what kind of implant I can have if I can't have the metal. And of course the metal is the gold standard, but I've always had little sensitive skin, had eczema when I was a child, and you know, all that good stuff. Okay, so now we just got one more side to do. So I hope this light isn't putting too much of a shadow on here. I'm trying to keep my arm out of the shadow, but I don't know that that's going to work right. So I'm getting ready for a craft show that I've told you all about. It's going to be this Sunday. And I thought I would do something a little different. And I've got so many cards made already that I just wanted to put some little boxes or bags together in case somebody wanted to give something as a gift. Okay, so there's our basic box. It's going to go like that. But now we have to put some tape on it so that it will close. Now I did this, I've made several of these, and I have made several mistakes. So I'm warning you now. Don't put them on all 4 sides. You need one piece of tape, double sticky tape on this side, one on this side, or one on this side and one on this side. And then I put a little piece here and a little piece there, and I'll show you how that works. Let's see if I can find the end of this. All right, there it is. Let's see if I can get it lined up without it being too bad here. I have a time trying to line these up. I don't know if y'all can see it, but I've got 3 cats in the house and 2 dogs, and I invariably get cat hair in this tape. They love to come see what I'm doing, and they wander all over this table. So we're going to cut it there. I'm going to put another piece on just so it's held good. Try to blow some cat hair off here. We love our animals, don't we? I've got 2 dogs. I've got what the vet just told me was a Rhodesian Ridgeback mix. The shelter where I got him from told me he was a Blackmouth Mountain Cur. I'd never heard of that. Didn't know it was a breed. Apparently it is. And he weighs 80 pounds. So he's a pretty big boy. But he's a big baby. He's the one, if you've watched my videos, that is dancing like crazy when one of my granddaughters comes in. He loves to dance. Okay, we're going to put just one piece there because it's not going to be significant. What it's going to do is stick to the back of this, just to kind of firm up the bottom. So now we're going to put a piece on the outside of this. You'll see how it comes together in a few minutes. Let's see if we can line it up here. It might be easier if I cut it first, but because I just messed it up there, got out of my hand and stuck to the paper, but that's okay, it'll be covered up. I always say don't worry too much about your mistakes, because in crafting, nothing's perfect because it's not machine made. And 99.9% of the time, you can cover it up. I'm just going to cut it down here so I have a little bit of a straighter edge. Let's see if we can get this on better. Trying to keep my arm out of the shadows. Yeah, that works. Now we're going to put it together. Get my tape put back up. Okay, where is my little tool? Here's one. I made a few little pokey tools the other day. Just kind of out of boredom. Had some beads laying around. Okay, let's see if we can get this off. Well, there we go. Just peel that up. That's where I cut it to get that air bubble out. And there. Okay. Let's get this one up. Alrighty. Oh, I forgot to put one there. We'll come back and do that in a second. Let me peel this up. I've said before in my videos, and hopefully you've watched them, I'm pretty new at this YouTube thing and this TikTok thing, so I'm learning as I go. I hope you'll be patient with me, as I hope my channel can grow and people will be interested to see how with only one hand you can still accomplish a great amount of things. You don't have to give up on life. When life gives you lemons, you just have to keep on going. I'm going to put a little piece of tape right there that I forgot to do. Find the end of it again. There it is. I am very lucky to be alive. This incident occurred back in December. If you haven't watched my story on YouTube, I encourage you to do so. It's quite a miracle, and I've been called a miracle by every doctor, every nurse, every respiratory therapist, just about everybody that I have come in contact with since the event that caused this amputation. It wasn't cancer. It wasn't an accident. It was strictly a medical procedure that went wrong, and it's no one's fault at all. So, we're going to put this box together now. We're going to take the little tab and put it on the inside. And we're going to fold this side up that has the tape on it. And we're going to flatten it to the table. And we're going to push this side up into it. And let's turn it and do this side. Whoop, I got it crooked. Okay, get my finger out of it, it'll be fine, won't it? All right, we're gonna take this, push it to the table so that it's good and straight and flat, and then bring this piece up. Okay. Now we're going to bring this piece that does not have the tape on it, we're going to bring it forward. We're going to try to flatten it as best we can. Make sure it's good and straight. I keep getting my arm in there. And we're going to bend the sides up till they meet on the edges. And we're going to do the same with this one. And fold it over. That's a little crooked, so I'm going to take it off again. I will admit it's easier with two hands, but you know, like I said, you gotta deal with what you got. All right, we're gonna do this again. Straighten that out, it got bent just a little bit. And going to fold it in there and put it in here. I have a little bump there. Still not liking that. I'll get it, just hang on. This is the challenging part, is getting these things straight. There, I think that did it. Yeah. Now, we're gonna burnish that just to make sure it stays. Get something like my ruler here. Flip it up and just kind of push on it so that it stays. This is probably about 65-pound paper. It might do better if you had 100-pound, but I use what I have. And I've said many times before, I do not use kits. I see ideas, and I know that there are kits that are made, and they're beautiful cards. But I don't like being told that you put this piece on here and this piece on here. You know, give me some directions. Let me look at it. Let me see how you did it. And then I'm going to do it the way I want to do it. Okay, this piece is going to be the top. And it has to be the width of the inside of the box because it's going to go inside the box. And then it's going to flip over like this to make a lid. You could make it look like a pocketbook if you wanted to and have a little strap there. But this is going to be a box. And so instead of curling it, we're going to crease this. And so I'm going to get my scoreboard out again, my trimmer scoreboard. And I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. All right. On this side, now let me make sure I've got the right side because they look very similar. Typically, you can make it about 7 inches long if you want to put a pocket in it, but if you don't want the pocket, then it can be a little shorter. You just want it to come down so that it can catch to something. So this is the shorter side. As you can see, it doesn't fit. That's what I always want to check, is make sure I've got the correct side that fits in. It's a little tight, but that's okay. Maybe by 1/8 of an inch, but I've discovered that when I trim it 1/8 of an inch, it ends up 1/4 of an inch, and then it's too short. So, what does that tell you? It tells you that I can't measure. So since my particular tramming board, scoreboard, starts at 0, but there's no marks here, I'm going to put this at 1 and make sure it's lined up straight. And then I'm going to put a mark at the 1/2 inch mark, which is right here. And that's going to be the piece that goes right there. Okay? And then we're going to come from the edge, and now I can put it back on the 0 mark and mark it correctly. But I have to lengthen this. Get everything lined up. All right, let's put it back. I hope y'all can see this without too many shadows. All right. Got it on the 0 mark. I'm going to put that down to kind of hold it in place. And now we're going to come out to 1 3/4. So that's right here. 1 3/4. This is going to be the top of the box right here. Okay. Now, let's fold. Let me get this out of the way. That's all there is to it for that piece. It's really just a matter of putting it together now. So we're going to fold this piece in, and we're going to burnish it. And then we've got one here. This is going to be the top of the box. So we're going to fold it there. Okay. You can do a variety of things with the end here. I have used cutouts. They look nice when you do that. I wonder. I don't think I'm going to do it on this one. I think what I will do is round those corners though. So let me get my little rounder. And it is little. I don't have a big one. Let's see. I think I will use this side. Let's see what that looks like. You know what? I'm going to test it first on a piece of scrap paper just to make sure it's what I want before I ruin this good piece of paper. Okay, here's a scrap piece. I am going to stick that corner in and see what happens. Let's see. It's not going to be very big. Oh, yeah, I like that. Okay. So, we're going to stick the corner in as far as it'll go and push it. Nice. Can you see that? And let's do this one. That makes a nice little edge. There, let's hope I get this one as straight as I did that one. Well, it doesn't look the same. Let's try it again. Did I use that one? Yeah. This one's the one I was supposed to be using. Maybe I didn't have it in far enough. There it goes. I think I didn't have it in far enough. You can see that. All right. Now let's put a piece of tape on here. And you can use glue. It'd just be a little messier, but that's okay too. It's just what you want. I just happen to have the tape out. And looks like I'm running out of tape. Let's see. Yep, not gonna have enough for this piece all the way around. So I'll get another piece here. I've got one here that might be just about the same size. I think I need to order me some more tape. Alright. We don't need much, just a little bit. It's just going to hold the lid onto the box. So we put it right there on the print. At least this is the side I have a print on. When you have a designer paper and it has designs on both sides, it really looks nice when you open the box and you see that designer paper in there. I just chose to use this particular type of paper tonight. Okay, let's see if I can get these off. Sometimes the tape wants to come with it, so I go to another spot. Try to peel it up. There it goes. Okay. So I hope everybody's doing okay. It's Friday night. I'm gonna go do some volunteer work tomorrow morning at our local food pantry. We just receive food tomorrow from our local pickups of the grocery stores, and then put it away. And then Monday is day for distribution to the clients. Okay, so now we're gonna line this up. I have discovered that if you can line these two edges up here, makes a nice little crease, and then you just fold it over and put it inside and rub it down, burnish it good, and then you have a fold and you have your lid. Now, how are we going to close this thing? Well, it looks pretty good to me, but we need to be able to keep it closed. I have some magnets, but I think they're a little too heavy, and the paper tends to want to shift a little bit on it. I think I showed you Velcro pieces that have sticky on each side. You could use that, but instead, I found a piece of gold paper that I had. I just kind of cut it into the shape I wanted. I had some wooden words. This one says love, and I glued that on, and then I had a rose, a tiny little rose that I thought that would look nice on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop just the bottom up, put it on this, and then this top can slide into it and meet the dimensional. Now, if you see this little thing was supposed to be a tag, and it had a hole in it. Well, I didn't want the hole in it after I made it. So, and I wanted that rose to cover the hole. Well, the glue was going to stick out of the bottom. So I just stuck a piece of paper on there and glued it all together. That's not going to show, so it doesn't really matter. So now I'm going to cut a piece. Let's see, this is from 7 to 11. It's 4 inches. So we'll go just shy of 4 inches, because I don't want my dimensional to show. So we'll go about here. Let me make sure I'm doing the bottom. Bottom's going to be over here. If I did it up here, then this wouldn't slide in. So I may have to trim this, but I'm thinking it's going to go right about... Dadgummit, I see cat hair and dog hair again. Hope somebody's not allergic to animals that buys this, but I've got a feeling it'll not cause a problem, because It's like literally one hair. All right, let's take this off. Take the paper off. Oh, if anybody's wondering, and again, I've mentioned it in my other videos, I believe, but I get to go meet with and I'm probably saying this wrong, but I'm going to say a prosthetician, someone who makes prosthetics. I meet with him Tuesday to see if that is something that I want to do or not. All right, now let's figure out how to put this on in the correct space. I'm going to slide it here because I don't want to glue it together because this has to be able to open. So about there, we're going to slide it down and we're going to stick it there. There's our box. What do you think? I like it. It's very pretty, easy to open. You can stick 10 to maybe 12 cards in there with envelopes and give that as a very nice little gift. And you just slide that back in to close it up. And there you have a box. I hope y'all enjoyed this. I hope you'll watch me. I hope you'll follow me on TikTok and YouTube. Hopefully within the next month or so, I will open up an Etsy shop. It will also be called Faithful Crafter. So give me a thumbs up and subscribe and follow me, and you'll get to hear all about what's going on with the One-Handed Crafter. Thanks again for watching. Bye now.